So this is a quick demo of Alfresco Workdesk. One of the key features of Alfresco Workdesk is integration into interfaces that users already know and understand to increase user adoption. One of these is the file system interface. So what you see here is a mapped drive that connects me to the content repository and allows me to interact with content and process directly through the mapped drive by doing things like dragging and dropping content. So in this particular customer service example, I'm going to take a piece of content that may have come from email, or maybe it came from a capture solution, but I want to take that piece of content, drag it and drop it into the file system view and initiate a response to the customer based on this inbound content that they sent me. If I double click this content, this Word document will open up in Microsoft Word, and utilizing our Office Workdesk integration capabilities, I can actually interact with the metadata related to this particular content and have it start a business process in Alfresco Workdesk. So I'm going to enter customer ID, the date of receipt, things like who I want to assign this content to. I'm going to assign it to Carl Customer. I'm going to set a status of new on this content, and I'm going to select a content type. All of this metadata can help drive the workflow and process within Alfresco Workdesk and Alfresco to actually start a case to respond to this customer. As I exit out of Word, I can open up Alfresco Workdesk as a customer service agent. Oops. What we'll see as we log in is a role-specific user interface for the customer service agent. So instead of browsing through content to find out what to do, I simply have an inbox of content that needs to be acted on. So here I see this complaint letter that came from the customer, and with this I can actually launch a process to handle a customer claim. So I can put in some basic information. Please review this content, and actually launch a process defined in Alfresco in Activity to handle this claim. For example, if I look here inside of Activity, I can see this new instance that just started. I can see what the process is and the process we're going to go through to manage this particular claim. I'm in the first step of claim processing. So all of this complexity can be hidden from the end user by Alfresco Workdesk. When I move into the case management functionality, I see all of the claims that I'm currently working on, including this new one that we just initiated. If I go to execute the next step in this process, one of the important aspects is the ability to see other content related to this customer so that I can act on this letter that they sent me. So by clicking this icon, I can see the entire customer file that contains all of the types of content related to this customer. In this view, I see in the upper left-hand corner some customer information, their customer ID, their logo, some contact information. This could be coming from another application or from the content management system. So for example, if I need to call this customer, I can click on the customer contact, see the information in order to make the phone call. I can also see other content related to this customer, like the orders that they've placed with me. So in order to do my job and respond to the letter that they sent me, I might need to understand what was on their purchase order, for example. So I can review this content in order to make my decision. So based on that, maybe I want to send this case along to the next step in the process, which maybe is a technical review. So here I'm going to send this content along to the technical department for them to review the next step in this process. So if we go back to Activity and refresh our view, we can see that we're now in the technical department reviewing this content. So now I'm going to log into Workdesk as a user in the technical department and execute the next step in the process. So here again we see the user-specific interface that lets me focus on the task at hand without having to sort through a lot of content or a lot of other information. I see that I have a complaint letter that I'm being asked to process, and I can quickly go to this process. I can see the previous comments from the customer service agent. I can obviously view and edit the content, but here I can also see the customer file that we saw before from the customer service perspective. And notice here I have a limited set of content that I can see. So these views are role specific. The technical department doesn't need to see all of the content related to the customer, but again, I can use this in order to understand what the customer maybe ordered. I can understand any other correspondence that we've had with the customer. This is the business context I need in order to make my decision at this part of the process. One other capability that is important is the ability to find relevant content to this case that's not already associated with the customer. So for example, maybe there is another product that will solve this customer's problem. So I will look for all documents that are of type offering to look for a particular piece of content that I'd like to send to the customer. So in this case, I'm going to select a piece of content and I'm going to actually add it into the case. So now there is additional content, and I can ask the customer service agent, please send this content to the customer. So maybe this Alfresco Workdesk product one sheet will help the customer solve their problem by offering them another product that can assist with their specific use case. So as I complete this task, again, the process moves along. If I go back and refresh my view and activity, I can see that we're now reviewing the final solution before it goes on to the customer. So I'm going to log out, log back in as the customer service agent, and we can see that if I look in the case management section, again, I can see both pieces of content related to this case. I can always dig into this particular piece, see what the comments were from the technology department, and move the process along through its natural workflow.